from the champion. Oh, deep six. That could be it. Delivers this deep six.
We are live. It is episode 130. Guess what? Guess what, Brandon?
Oh, I didn't know you wanted. I thought you were going into it. What's that,
This
sir?
is the first time I'm doing this show from another country.
International.
It is going to be international mayhem tonight.
We love it.
I am live here from Montreal, Canada. And Brandon, you are in the U.S. This is the first time this has ever been done on our podcast, period, in our existence. How you doing, man? Thank you for joining.
Hey, no problem. We're good. Saw my brother for Thanksgiving. Worked at a furniture store that doesn't have Black Friday sales, but everybody asked, so it just happened to be a crazy weekend. But settling down, got a day off today, and was able to watch Raw.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, great Thanksgiving weekend. Headed up to Syracuse on Friday night. And oh my gosh, and I ran into like a major lake effect snowstorm when I got up to within about an hour from Syracuse over by Cortland area. Not only was I battling staying awake on the way to Syracuse, but then right around the time I started feeling more alert finally after like the Celsius and coffee kicked in, then I ran into a snowstorm, the lake effect snowstorm. And it was crazy, absolutely crazy to be driving in that condition, but thankfully I made it. Sunday from Syracuse, I drove up another 4 hours here to Montreal. Been in Montreal since yesterday. Around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I arrived here yesterday in the Airbnb. And then this morning, I figured, let me get the day trip out of the way to Quebec City. So I don't have to do that later in the week. Because it looked like today was going to be kind of like the quietest day as far as snow goes. So I figured, let me get out of the way so I can kind of rest a little more while I'm here in Montreal. So, did Quebec City today, there and back. Quebec City is awesome. Got back here in Montreal, and I'm literally about a mile away from where the original Montreal Screwjob took place. Survivor Series 97. But man, it's been a good weekend, and yeah. And
are the Canadians playing near you this week at all?
So the Montreal Canadiens are playing Winnipeg Jets and the Ottawa Senators tomorrow and Wednesday.
Okay. Plans on going to a game?
I will be hitting one of those games, if not both, but definitely one of them. If I'm going to do the one, more than likely it'd be Wednesday, and then I'm going to do an outdoor spa out here on Thursday. I may even do it tomorrow night too. We'll see.
Definitely can't go wrong with that. Love it.
Absolutely. Montreal is a great city. Would love to get back up here in January for Saturday night's main event. But, traveling up here by car through New York, as I found out on Friday, is very risky. The lake effect snow is no joke. Driving a Nissan Altima, no joke.
I went to school up there for 4 years, and that is actually how I crashed my first car. So, believe me, I get you. Be very careful up there. It came out of nowhere, and I was just going downhill. The brakes didn't work. So, yeah, definitely be careful. No need to risk it.
Unbelievable. Anyway, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. We had a very good show. I wouldn't say Monday Night Raw was, epic, as the IWC was rumoring, talking about Triple H just saying tonight's going to be epic. But we had a very good show tonight.
I've always said that I enjoy the Raws that are 5-10 minute matches versus 3 15 to 20 minute matches, and every match delivered tonight. So I was very pleased with this Raw and the way that they drew everything up, especially after a PLE that was very underwhelming in my opinion, to say the least.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to ask you about that too. What did you think of WWE Survivor Series? I felt it was a little bit underwhelming side too.
I feel like you definitely had uh, you had I think every prediction right. I was off that whole entire night. Like I did not expect anything there. Of so that's where I was a little off with it. But the women's match just it both matches, it felt like they could have just done more with the time that they had. They could have got more weapons involved. Like they just didn't really do what AEW in comparison has been able to do, which is create bloodshed and havoc and all this craziness.
Yeah.
Give me that if you're going to call it war games. It was just EO doing her trash can jump and then a hooded individual that ends the match with nothing. So
Yeah.
it's just very strange.
Yeah, I mean the hooded individual. I mean they're gonna go into a storyline with that, and I made a 3 minute post yesterday on YouTube. I have a feeling who I think it is, but then somebody else brought a good point up. So like if you haven't seen it, I talked about it yesterday. How I believe it's Austin Theory.
Yep.
However, there could be the chance that it might not be that when the unveiling takes place, it could be Montez Ford too. So the way I see it is obviously not a veteran because this person was moving up and over the cage inside the ring quick, did what he had to do quick, and got out quick.
Yep.
And so obviously it's a young guy, somebody who helped out the vision. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be Austin Theory, or it could be Ricky Saints. Like the obvious like pick everyone thinking is Austin Theory, right? I would
Right.
love Triple H to call an audible if he hasn't already. Maybe it isn't even him, but let it be somebody else just to throw off the IWC because IWC likes to talk and in the rumor mill. And again, I was guilty of it, posting a 1 minute video who I believed it was. The IWC went wild. There has been no official reveal. Looked like Austin Theory, but again, it could have been. But so what's cool about it is you're gonna run a storyline with it, and I'm cool. It's just something, to kind of keep the WWE fans engaged, wondering who it is.
I had a few different thoughts about it
Yeah.
where I think what they could have done if they want to go that way of bring Chris Jericho back and have that be a hired gun, because you said it does look like a young guy, but Austin Theory is a great pick just because he was randomly buried by CM Punk and Burt Kreischer together back in April, and then he got hurt like 3 months later, and he kind of just got and forgot about. So Austin Theory just come back and be like, CM Punk made me look like a fool. I ain't no fool. It's my time. And as you said, help the vision. So if Braun loses, then that can be a whole kind of double storyline is Austin was part of the vision the whole time. So that is my highest thought. I wish MJF wasn't in like already under contract because MJF joining WWE for that exact reason would have been perfect too. But he's unfortunately under contract for a while.
What would have been great if WWE uses different guys for this mask guy.
The same way that they did El Grande Americano. I would love it.
Like they just use a different guy under the mask each time, like different sizes, just to kind of throw people off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that'd be fantastic. That'd be great. That's what I would do here. Triple H has got to be reading the rumor mill, and if I'm him, I'm calling it. And the next guy next time they want this mask guy to come out, let it be somebody of a slightly different stature, just to kind of have people guessing and stuff like that. And then when you want to reveal him as Austin Theory, great, or whoever it is. But like I said, somebody agile, somebody quick. That was under that mask. I was thinking, either like a Ricky Saints, or even a Montez Ford. and the favorite obviously being Austin Theory. Like you said, I mean that, and then between John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio, I loved how that all played out. But other than that, Survivor Series was very underwhelming. I was looking for a heel turn of some sort or something to happen revolving around Charlotte on Saturday rather, and that didn't happen. And then it looks like we're going to get a slow burn. I mean, we're seeing the beginning of a slow burn of a new storyline with Roman Reigns, Punk, Cody. Don't think they'll do a triple threat match at Mania, but I could definitely see Roman Reigns facing one of those two guys, Cody or Punk, for the championship, and go from there. So they planted the seeds there. Let's see what this, how long, what plans they have for the mystery guy. Maybe he'll be the one to help Braun Breaker win the title. We'll get more into that a little bit. But other than that, like you're right, Survivor Series was a little underwhelming.
It does happen for those PLEs, and they're leading to they led towards a good Raw, which is awesome. Obviously, having a Liv comeback is great.
Raw made a nice comeback tonight.
Yeah, no question. And speaking of comeback, we had Liv comeback, which is awesome.
Yes, very happy. Let's get into it. We saw Liv, come out with, the Judgment Day in a parking lot, and that's kind of how Raw started. But we have Rhea Ripley. She's in the ring and with IO, and they want a match with the Kabuki Warriors. But then Charlotte interrupts, along with Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte challenges Rhea and IO. If if you guys think you're better than us, prove it. And then IO and Rhea accepts the challenge. And then moments later, Pierce makes that official. So that's going to be the main event of the night and our main event chat of the night. So that's how Raw gets started. What did you think of the first segment?
I don't want to say I expected it, but I kind of did, especially after winning. I felt like the next thing is going to be who's going to take on the Kabuki Warriors for the belt. So it's going to be a title eliminator. So that's definitely how I expected it to start. Just maybe not tonight. I thought it might push a little bit, but cool to see that they started tonight. And I do like the Rhea and IO is now Rio, which is fantastic.
Yes. And then that basically set the tone for Raw. Raw was kind of bookended tonight with the women's tag division that they're clearly looking to build.
Yep,
which is good. Having Liv Morgan back and in the stable Judgment Day, which we'll get to momentarily, will definitely help that out. But then we get into the next segment where Paul Heyman is in the back, and basically, he's talking to Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce throughout a couple of segments of Raw is, trying to find out who this masked man is, and even gets a referee involved, trying to see what he can find out, which, the referee later doesn't find out anything. Other than that, Seth Rollins was seen walking around and with no sling at the time, and, what have you. They're just trying to, when Seth comes back, whenever that may be, maybe there'll be a little dissension there. With Seth saying it wasn't him. So it all depends on how long they want to drag out this masked man gimmick. So that should be pretty interesting there. But Paul Heyman says he has no clue who's under the mask, and that he's worried more about how Braun Breaker pinned CM Punk on Saturday night. And that we have a lot to talk about. So they go into their office, and we will talk about that segment that they end up doing later on. But they go into the office. So it seems to us that they're clearly building up Braun Breaker. But then we get the second match of the night. This was a well-wrestled show. The matches were great. absolutely great. Um, and even this one with LA Knight taking on Jay Uso. We had that match. Apparently, he was like the mystery man all along. That we had that question mark against LA Knight for weeks, and apparently that's Jay Uso. I forgot when they announced it. Maybe they announced it on SmackDown. I don't know. I didn't watch SmackDown. Not that I don't watch it. I just couldn't watch SmackDown this past week. But we had a very, very good match. LA Knight had a pretty bad botch. Or I wouldn't say it's LA Knight's fault. I think Jey Uso was out of position during commercial break. So, what you guys don't know is that apparently Raw up here in Canada on Netflix is ad free, so there are no ads. So during commercial break, you see LA Knight do his usual feet first, jump through the ropes onto the outside, like kind of like a drop kick fashion. Jey Uso was out of position and the spot looked bad. Other than that, I felt like Jey Uso and LA Knight had a really good match for the last time is now tournament. So what did you think of this match?
I appreciate Jey Uso for using other people's moves. He needs to get a little bit better of a move set because it's just spears and super kicks now. So I'm all right with it, but and the splashes. I'm sorry. So I feel like he definitely needs to just kind of update a little bit. That would help him out. But yeah, the way that it ended was also surprising too, because you had triple super kick, spear, and a splash, and then you get a roll up from LA Knight to end it. So I was a little bit surprised that they didn't allow LA Knight to at least have a move or two in that last minute.
Oh, like the BMF.
At least something there, a clothesline, BMF, kick, just anything other than a roll up after getting.
And that was not a great roll up either.
Yeah, no. He had to. It took him a second. He had to get his legs out of the way. So,
but I mean, that was a really, really good point of the match with the Uso landing the super kick, spear, and then a splash, and LA still kicking out. I mean,
shows some strength and resilience, which is exactly who he's going to need against his opponent that we will find out in an hour later into the show.
Yeah. This match was a very good match, very, very much back and forth. So again, Monday Night Raw's matches tonight had a very, very good, well wrestled matches. A couple botches here and there, but whatever. I mean, real life fights aren't meant to be clean, so whatever. I don't really complain about botches too much, but I'll point them out. Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if this got on commercial or not. Like, I don't know if this was shown during commercial break. So, after the match ended, I don't know if this was shown in the US or not because at this point I really couldn't tell. But Jey Uso lost it. Like, he flipped out. Did you see that?
I don't think so, no.
So after the match, Jey Uso took the Prime bottles, threw it. Jey Uso took all the Prime bottles and threw it all over ringside. He took the steps off the closest to the announcers, took the steps and ripped it off and threw it against the guardrail. Like he was beginning to destroy ringside, like almost like Bret Hart style, Survivor Series '97.
This was after the match had ended.
This was right after the match. So if you didn't see this, okay, so this probably wasn't shown in the US, but it was shown here in Canada. Like he flipped out. So he lost it. He threw everything. And that kind of built into the segment later on where Jey Uso was being interviewed by Jackie Redmond, which I would imagine you saw that. And he was just kind of disgusted, about his loss. But again, the Canadian, the Raws up here in Canada ad free, so that's how I was able to see that. Like I kid you not, that was like a detail, like a very important detail that did not get on TV tonight. Apparently,
I might have missed it kind of fast forwarding as well. I might have had to skip through, so I will have to watch back and kind of double because after seeing that and seeing the interview, I was a little like, oh, what happened? So maybe I missed it. Maybe, like you said, it did go to commercial and everyone missed it, and I could have fast forwarded from commercial, but I'm not certain. So I'm gonna have to look back and at least see that.
yes, it was pretty cool. Like he legit lost it. I'm like, oh, this is not good.
That interview now makes a little more sense as well.
Yeah.
You know what, let me find my remote and I'll try to look back and see if I can find it real quick. Let me not look insane while you lead on to the next thing. And everyone can say hi to Chandler right here.
Oh, hey Chandler. That is Aftermath Chandler right there.
Love it.
But it was where they go with Jey Uso. I mean, are they planting the seeds for a heel turn, or is this the beginning of a storyline to lead him into another title reign? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, he definitely seemed like maybe the belt shouldn't be on me. He did say that later on, and he kind of just seemed dejected with himself. You know, obviously losing his first match, I think they said 3-0 prior. So to go at War Games to now losing, not be able to take on John Cena, it's definitely probably weighing hard on him.
Bayley wants to be in the tag team picture. She's been sprinkled throughout a number of Raws recently, the past couple months, and then this storyline, which I feel like it's been like an every other week type of storyline with her and Lara Valkyria. But Bayley hasn't really done a whole lot of much on the pay-per-view circuit this year. But Bayley wants to be in the tag team picture, and you see her and Lara Valkyria talking with Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce tells him that he's going to do what he can. He obviously just made the match with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley and IO. So Adam Pearce basically talks about how he's going to try to work it in. And then you have Asuka interfering in the segment and talking about how she blames Bayley for the loss, for Asuka's team's loss. She blames Bayley because Bayley didn't join them to help them out. So this was kind of interesting, which also plays into the main event later on in the night.
Yeah, it's kind of good to see Bayley, go up and kind of give back the old Bayley of calling everyone an idiot. I was like, yeah, there's Bayley. Good. Like, why would I want to be on a losing team anyways? And you guys also abandoned me when I needed you guys. So, no, screw you. It was good to see Bayley stand up for herself there.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see more out of Bayley over the next couple of months, especially on the pay-per-view. She has not done anything in the pay-per-view circuit really at all this year. Maybe since Royal Rumble. She wasn't in SummerSlam. She wasn't in Survivor Series. She's been featured on Raw almost like on an every other week basis. So we'll see what's happening there. Then in the next segment, we had a Judgment Day come out, and basically we see all Judgment Day come out, and Dominic says he's the greatest of all time because he beat the greatest of all time, and that he also said he couldn't have done it without his Judgment Day members, and but that he wanted to thank and recognize one person in particular, and Liv Morgan then comes out, and then Liv goes on to say that she's happy to be back with Judgment Day, but so there's a big but there. She says that people are saying Judgment Day has been weak, that Judgment Day has been falling apart, and that Judgment Day has lost some of its gold, and that Liv is saying that she is back, and we are coming back for everything that's ours. So notice that she didn't say mine or anything; she said it ours, and it seems like the group was all about it. I felt like this was a little bit of a soft reset for them. There hasn't been a heck of a lot of time where Roxanne and Liv Morgan have been on Judgment Day together. So I was not paying attention to some of Roxanne's, facial expressions while Liv Morgan was talking. And, for the time being, it seems like everybody is on board there. But this was a serious promo with Judgment Day, a promo to get her Judgment Day crew back on track. What did you think of this?
I really just love seeing Liv back. She knows how to cut a promo. She was basically, like you said, saying this is our time. I'm back. And we see her go to the back and say, hey, I'm back. Congrats. I think it was that right after with did we miss that? Am I a little too? Yeah, I'm a little too early. But we jump that we'll jump forward later. We'll talk about it. That's okay. Other than that, the kiss and the slap, or backwards, I'm sorry, the slap then the kiss. That was definitely surprising to say the least, because we already saw the slap at War Games, or Survivor Series, I should say. And now we see another slap again, but this one looked a little more real. So
yeah,
maybe
that's basically Liv just telling Dominic, like, listen, I'm back. I'm the boss. I'm your boss, and I'm taking charge now.
Mommy 2.0.
That's what I got out of it.
With a little more, because he was playing games with her a little bit. So, hey, I'm back. No more game slap. So,
we will talk more about Judgment Day in a few minutes. But for those of you guys that are watching, I'm Wayne, host and owner of the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast, joined by my co-host, Brandon, a.k.a. Bash, in the house tonight. Feel free, guys, to comment, like, and subscribe. This will help us out. But most of all, please feel free to join our conversation. We want to hear what you guys have thought about tonight's Monday Night Raw. Next up, we are going to talk about the WWE Tag Team title match that we saw in the Tag Team title situation that we're going to get next week on Raw. But we had a really good match and a great ending to AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defending against the New Day. Right there, you don't even have to watch the match to know that is going to be a good match. But a lot of back and forth, some good spots here. There wasn't really a slow point to the match to talk about, but my favorite spot of the whole night was when Dragon Lee did the double stomp onto Kofi Kingston as Kofi Kingston's hanging on the top rope. Kofi sells that so well. As a result of that stomp, Kofi flips and lands into AJ Styles, where AJ Styles catches him in the Styles Clash position, and AJ Styles puts the Style Clash on Kofi Kingston for the win. What did you think of that spot?
That was crazy. I have definitely seen AJ do a few counters into his Style Clash, but he's not in too many tag matches to be able to have not a springboard. That's usually how it goes, is a reverse springboard, but to be sprung off the ropes into that position, and it was perfectly caught too. That was fantastic.
That was the move of the night for sure. That was the finisher of the night. That was a great match, nonstop, back and forth. Absolutely loved it. We see
The aftermath,
AJ,
finisher of the
yeah,
night.
yeah. AJ, if we see AJ Styles and Kofi, I'm sorry, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee in the back again, confronting Adam Pierce and talking about how they want a tag team title match for next week, that they want to defend the belts, they want to be fighting champions. So this is something that we were not getting during the tenure of when Judgment Day had the tag belts. They had Finn Balor and JD only defended it twice, maybe and then lost it on the third time. So they only really defended it twice. And they had that belt. They had those belts for like 6 months. So it's almost kind of like holding the title hostage. Now that's the kayfabe. Obviously, I blame booking for this. We're not consistently featuring them, but keep it in the realm of our imagination. The kayfabe again. Finn and JD only defended it 2, maybe 3 times, no faults of their own. And but now we've been getting the tag team titles featured like almost every other week. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee literally had about, I want to say, 4 title defenses in 2 months, if that. And I don't even think Finn and JD Dunna had 3, maybe 3 at most title defenses in 6 months. So again, the tag team titles are being featured more, which is good because that division was dying. But now we see AJ and Dragon Lee. They lay out a challenge that they want to fight somebody, and then AJ Styles basically recommends, "Hey, how about the War Raiders?" I mean, that is crazy right there.
That's 2 crazy guys.
Very ambitious.
And we haven't seen them wrestle in a minute either. So I guess they're, like you said, trying to grow back that division up. And I think now that we heard the Judgment Day say we're all back, I think that I don't want to say unfortunately, but fortunately, unfortunately, going to see them back in the title picture. And I hope if they win it that they become fighting champions. But that's going to be the way to do it, is by turning the belts, but turning them into fighting every couple of weeks or so.
Yeah. We haven't seen the War Raiders in a little while, probably since the beginning of this year. Maybe like before, around Mania or so. So AJ and Dragon Lee getting very ambitious, especially volunteering to want to defend the tag titles against the War Raiders. That's crazy. I don't know, Brandon. I wouldn't be surprised if the War Raiders take this one. And if not, I think there's going to be some interference, like the Judgment Day, trying to stake their claim so that eventually they can get their tag title shot. So that's where I think it's going. But I know we're going to have a banger of a tag team title match next week.
I just am trying to think of the last time, because Ivar was injured for a while, so I guess he's back to being healthy now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He got injured back in 2024. It was like a bad neck injury.
Was it 2024?
It was the end. I think it was the end of 2024. I thought so.
Wow.
Suffered a severe neck injury May of 2024. He had since had surgery and returned to wrestling, though he has permanent nerve damage. So when was his last match? Because that was when he had like the bad injury. I guess he's come back since then.
I feel like Ivar's last match was probably early this year. You know what? We're going to find out right now.
Ivar's last match was an 8-man tag team match on October 14th, 2024, where he and Eric returned as the War Raiders to defeat Alpha Academy. The injury was sustained, so he can't. Wow, it's been over a year.
I cannot believe that's been a year.
Because he had the neck injury. I think he said, "Nah, I'm good without surgery." And then he wrestled, and I don't know if re-injured it, but was like, "I don't feel right." Probably got a second opinion and said, "Nah, man, you got to get surgery." So I guess it's been a year now.
Wow. I can't believe a year's passed since Ivar's last match. That's crazy.
Almost forced to retire. I really hope he comes back strong, but I think because it has been that long of a layoff that they probably won't give him the belt yet. But that's pretty cool that he's coming back after over a year.
We get Paul Heyman in the ring with the Vision. This was a pretty interesting promo because Paul Heyman is basically shouting out his Vision guys because they had just gotten the win at Survivor Series thanks to the Master Man, but they did get the win regardless, and Paul Heyman shouting them all out. And then he makes it known, based on their conversation from earlier in the night, that Braun Breaker will be challenging CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, the first Raw of the new year, the first anniversary of Netflix, Raw on Netflix, January 5th. And I can't believe we're almost a year on Netflix, by the way. But Braun Breaker versus CM Punk. I mean, this is going to be a big match, the biggest match of Braun Breaker's career. And it's going to be on Monday Night Raw, first Raw of the new year. Your thoughts? Where are we going? Do you think this is the stage for Braun Breaker yet, or do you think that he's going to win it on an even bigger stage?
I think with all the tomfoolery that the Vision bring, it might be time for Braun to take it into WrestleMania season. However, I always say you gotta do what the fans want, and I think the next couple of Raws are gonna determine if it's time yet. Because it sounded more like it was 80-20 that Punk was getting those chants. You definitely heard a few CM Punk sucks in there versus the CM Punk chants, and you definitely heard a few barks for Braun. So I think the crowds are going to determine what's going to happen that day. But the promo that Braun cut, I mean,
Yes.
Ooh, did he cut deep on a few things that he said? The first, just starting off, is comical of saying, I'm upset, but not about the hooded man or Batman or whoever that was. I'm like, yo, you're starting comical here. Love that. But to then say it was just easy to pin CM Punk. I thought I'd have to go into my bag. And I mean, he said that he was nothing but a soft ass bitch. I was like, yo, whoa, crazy to drop on Netflix. And then he said that he's just upset that his wife is a bigger star than he is. And I'm like, hey, she was the one that won and made Becky tap, even though Becky said she didn't tap. But she made Becky tap. And CM Punk was the one that lost and got pinned. So the duality of a couple right now probably weighs hard on Punk's mind right now. So, and then the best thing was saying, remember when you saw me in the back, and hey, great job, kid. Let's see if you can cut it with the big guys. Consider this the promo that gets cut. I'm the real best in the world. I'm like, that was intense. That was great. Mic drop. Everything. And it wasn't even a mic drop because, of course, Logan Paul had to get the last word because he
was like, damn.
Damn. I'm like, yo. So, that everything about what Braun said and everything that he threw in there was just perfect, right down to just attacking not him, his wife, not attacking his wife, but bringing her in, just everything he needed to do. He cut a promo. That's what you got to do. He cut a damn promo. Great job, Braun.
So they're clearly setting up for Saturday night's main event. They're clearly setting up for Monday Night Raw, January 5th. I just hope that WWE doesn't go into coasting mode for a couple weeks during the holidays. I know the SmackDowns are going to be taped, but I do hope that they put effort into those shows regardless, and the Raws. But again, I mean, there's been many times where WWE has coasted in December and then coasted through January just to get to the Royal Rumble. So I hope that's not the case. Hopefully that every we get a show, hopefully we get a show like we got like tonight for the next few weeks. I mean,
Yep.
that'd be great. So yeah, that was a really good promo that he cut. It has me looking forward to the match. And honestly, it has me thinking that there's a possibility that CM Punk could drop the title here. I don't know. We have seen title changes on the first Raw or first SmackDowns, but we have seen title changes on the first Raw of the New Year's a couple times in the past. Triple H defeating the Big Show January 1st of 2000. It was just and that really kicked off the McMahon Helmsley era. I believe that was Triple H's first title, if I'm not mistaken. So there's been a couple times where we have seen a title change to kick off a new year on a Raw or a SmackDown. So I would not be surprised if Braun Breaker wins it on the first Raw. There has been talk of Braun Breaker getting a bigger stage, though, for the title win. But so we'll have to see what happens there. But that was a great promo. Gunther versus Solo. This was another great match that we saw tonight. Gunther defeating Solo. He's going to go on to the finals. But we saw some back and forth stuff with these guys. Let me tell you something. The future, and what I mean by future, the next 5 years is, I believe, from a wrestling standpoint, is in very good hands with the WWE. Once like Reigns, Cody, and Lesnar, and Randy Orton, once those guys are gone, like your main guys like Gunther, Solo, Braun Breaker, Femi is going to be up soon. You got some good guys waiting in the wings, but based on what we saw tonight, that was a really good match between the two of them. And I feel like WWE is so safe for the next few years to come. But what did you think of this match? I mean, it was very, very back and forth that we got. Then we got some interference. But what did you think?
This was one where I really couldn't tell who was going to win, and that's my favorite matches. A lot of times you can kind of read who they're trying to push, or if it's, a championship match, if you know that the belts are going to get, given over or not. So I just really couldn't tell who was going to win. Solo and LA Knight have had some great matches. I don't think Gunther and LA Knight have really gone against each other, so I was expecting them to go either way with it, so that was great. All the chops from Gunther, I don't know how Solo was able to withstand all that. He had to get hit at least 30 times in the chest, so that's just crazy, to say the least. The spikes that kept coming in or almost coming in, the counters, great match all around.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Tonga. He interferes on the outside, but the ref catches Tonga in the act. Gunther, behind the referee's back as the referee was trying to get Tonga away from the ring. We see Gunther give Solo the low blow, followed by the power bomb to advance. Again, Solo tried cheating too, so Gunther was giving it right back. See, after, I would say for about 2 weeks now, in my mind, I've kind of had it all along that the writing was on the wall that it's going to be Gunther facing John Cena. And again, we still have one more match to get to, which is now that we know that LA Knight beat Jey Uso tonight, he'll be facing Gunther this Friday night. However, I feel like the writing's been on the wall that Gunther is going to be the guy to face John Cena. I don't think John Cena is losing on his way out. He could. I mean, it wouldn't hurt him at this point, and I think it would be the right move if Gunther wins. You put somebody over on the way out, and then John Cena could still have his moment in the ring. It's not going to hurt John Cena whether he wins or loses at Saturday night's main event. The likelihood of losing, though, is I don't think it's too likely. I think John Cena gets the win, But to have keep in mind Gunther beat Goldberg in Goldberg's retirement match. So maybe this could be a new trend that WWE is doing, where he Gunther retires people. So but this is a tough one to call. Gunther, I think, should be the right call to make, but I don't think that's going to happen here. I don't know. I have a feeling it's a tough one to call. So that's the match that I'm having a little trouble with trying to figure out what WWE is going to do there. But it has been. I felt like it's been a little obvious to me that Gunther was going to be the guy to face John Cena after I saw the first couple of weeks of this unfolded. But the way that they presented Solo versus Gunther tonight, I do agree. They tried to get the fans thinking like, who's going to win this match? Like, this is a toss up and it's going back and forth. So I definitely liked the presentation of the match regardless, with Tonga out there, they tried to have the WWE fans, wondering like what's going to happen. But it was a great match there as well. Then we see LA Knight come to the ring face to face with Gunther. He basically wishes him the best in the LA Knight fashion, and then that's how that segment goes off the air. So what do you think about LA Knight and Gunther? Do you agree that the writing's on the wall that it's going to be Gunther versus John Cena, or do you think that they may go a different route and have LA win?
My call from the start was LA Knight, so I think that now that they put him in the final, I think that I think it's time to kind of let him shine. I think he would be a good guy to, like I said, kind of either allow John to win or turn heel in the moment and beat John. Or get cheered by beating John and then still stay around and kind of be there for him. Because that's, like I said, remember that they worked together in 2023. Which, like I said, I still can't believe that was in my brain for whatever reason. So I was like, you know what? There's at least a background there. There's no real background with Gunther and Cena. So that's where I was a little, I don't know. They can make both work, but I kind of want to see LA versus Cena just one time.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And you know what, LA Knight needs a little bit of a bump lately, or it's just they got to turn him heel. Just because I feel like he's kind of hit a glass ceiling lately, and he's still getting cheered by fans, which is great. But I think you got to do something with him. But moving on, the main event of the night. Again, Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, they have been intertwined, and even the tag teams, the women's tag team situation was intertwined in and out of the show the whole entire night, which is why we've been kind of jumping around, because that's how the show's been in and out, intertwined throughout the night, which is pretty cool.
My 1A, 1B, 2A, 3A, 3B, 2B. Yeah, I love watching shows like that.
So that's how it was. Judgment Day was basically bookended tonight, which was good. But yeah, we see Charlotte and Alexa versus IO and Rhea. Pretty a couple cool spots. We see Rhea Ripley do the Razor's Edge. I think that was on Alexa. I think Alexa took that Razor's Edge, followed by IO doing the drop kick. And we see Rhea Ripley. She sold an amazing DDT that Alexa Bliss gave Rhea right there, which I thought was pretty cool. We saw IO take a natural selection followed by Sister Abigail, but IO kicked out there, so that was a pretty cool highlight of the match. We see Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide and then Io hit the moonsault on Alexa. We thought the match was going to be over there, but Charlotte broke up that pin. Now here's where, and this was a great women's tag match. This was a great match. This is where all the brouhaha starts now. Out comes the Kabuki Warriors to interrupt the match. They take out everybody. So now you got 3 women's tag teams out there. The ref calls the match. Commentators are mad that such a great match got interrupted. Then you see Bayley and Lyra come out to the aid of Rhea and IO and stop what the Kabuki Warriors are doing. So you see that happen. Then out comes Liv Morgan. And then we see Judgment Day's Raquel and Roxanne come out and clean house. You see Raquel do her Tejada bomb. You see Roxanne give her pop rocks. And a Judgment Day standing tall tonight with Liv Morgan. And it was a little bit of a moment. I don't know if you caught it. Mm-hmm. Roxanne picked up the belt and she hands it to Liv. And then Liv hands it right back to Raquel. And you see Liv Morgan holding up the hands of Raquel and Roxanne. And what we appear for now is a united front. And basically Judgment Day stands tall to end Monday Night Raw. I'm excited because this has basically resulted in a little bit of a soft reset for Judgment Day, like a focus shift, so to speak. As we talked about earlier in this show, how they had the promo that Judgment Day is going to take back everything that's theirs. So which I believe JD and Finn Balor are going to eventually get tag team title shots again. And Liv Morgan is going to go for what's hers. I have her as a favorite of winning the Royal Rumble and challenging for one of the championships. So what did you think of this last segment tonight? And then after everything that you've seen tonight, where do we go from here?
That was crazy to see, especially with 5 different teams all coming out. So that was awesome. As you were saying right there, and we didn't really touch on it, but Liv did go up to Stephanie McCoy and said, "Hey, congrats, but I'm back." So
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, that was where Victoria was in the back getting interviewed, and then basically Liv came out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, I'm back. Congratulations, by the way, because you didn't win that off of me, homie. I've been gone for too long for you to take that from me, so I'm gonna take back what's mine." So that was definitely a big setup. And then now kind of set up on main event. There's gonna obviously be a fatal 4-way for who's gonna take them on January 5th. So that's gonna be great. Or they'll do that on Raw next week for main event. I don't exactly know what's set up, but yeah, we'll definitely see a fatal 4-way tag match.
I'm almost 100% certain. Yeah.
Definitely a good setup. And yeah, everybody looked very good there. There was really nothing too I don't want to say surprising or not surprising, really not too many botches. They just set up a good little 15-minute match. Everything made sense.
Those of you guys that are watching, feel free to leave a comment. We want to hear what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. Brandon, my next question to you is where do we go from here? We're getting close to Royal Rumble season. We now know Braun Breaker's facing CM Punk January 5th, Monday Night Raw. We now know Liv is back. She means business. We just talked on the tag team situation, and both the men's and the women's division on Raw are heating up now. I mean, there's been a lot of neglect. Let's just call it what it is. There's been a lot of neglect in the tag team scene. But now if you really start integrating the WWE women's tag team titles and have them float on not only Raw, but SmackDown and NXT, now you're really on to something here. So where do we go from here exactly? What's next?
I think the growth of the tag division allows for so many other things to kind of get put on the back burners until you get to Royal Rumble. So I'm very pleased with them getting so many different faces involved, because that also leads to these people that might deserve a solo shot get into the Royal Rumble picture because they're doing well in the tag team division. So I really like them not resting on laurels, but allowing the tag division to grow now, so that when we need all the solo faces to come back, especially in the Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble, they'll be ready to go. So keep it going, keep it coming. We love a War Raiders comeback. I hope that they look good. We love a Liv comeback, especially now that she'll be able to push Roxanne and Raquel and be that manager on the sideline. Bailey and Lyra, we've all liked Lyra in the ring, at least I have, for the last year. So give them a push now, give them a little something to work for. So yeah, I think they're doing a great job now, especially with this Raw. And definitely lead into that. Keep it going, keep it coming. Fighting champions all the way.
Absolutely. There's a lot to look forward to with the Raw. Braun Breaker, the title shot. John Cena's farewell match next Saturday in DC against TBD. I don't even know if there's any other matches built up for that yet, unless we started those seeds planted tonight. But Saturday night's main event's the next biggest show, which is next week. Then January 5th, and then Royal Rumble just a couple weeks after that. So, we're going to be starting to heat up very soon. I'm very excited. But Brandon, any last thoughts before we go off the air?
Did you see the Maxine little 1 minute video?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. She's training.
Yep. No, I like that. I just kind of saw that, Maxine is putting in the work, and I think that everything she's getting, she deserves. Keep putting in that work, and we love it. I think that was really all we missed. Good Raw overall, and I hope that they, like I said, I hope they continue with this 4 or 5 10 to 15 minute matches. Don't give me no long-winded 3 matches and all these acting and everybody on the mic. I don't need all that. All right. I understand you got to set up stories, but you got 2 hours to work with. Let's get the matches going. Let's World Wrestling Entertainment. Let's get the wrestling going. So tonight was definitely one of my, I wouldn't say favorite Raws of the year. Actually, no, it was one of my favorite Raws of the year. It was really good.
It was one of my favorite Raws. The Boston show and the Garden show are also my favorites.
Yeah. No, just keep the wrestling going. Keep it up. We like it.
Yeah, it was a great night of wrestling overall. It doesn't matter whose name was on the card. It was great matches all around. So good show there. No complaints as far as the in-ring. Like I said, we got some planted seeds for new stuff coming forward, including Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. I would imagine we're going to get that match probably Saturday night's main event if I had to guess. Brandon, thank you from Long Island.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hopping on, and we're in for a pretty good ride the next couple of weeks. We're heating up, and for those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much for hopping on. Please share this with your friends. Hit the like button, subscribe. That will help us out. And until next time, most likely next week, we'll keep you guys posted on that. We'll be back with another post show, and we will catch you guys soon. Have a good night, everybody.
From the champion. 10-6. That could be it. Delivered this